Hello all, I'm Sai and in today's video, I just want to talk about how I managed to read more than 100 books each and every year. In the beginning of this year in January, I talked about my top 10 favorite books from 2024 and I got a bit more than normal views for that video in the first month itself, and people kept on commenting saying that they were not able to believe that I had read 177 books in 2024, which is a very solid normal number for me. I've been doing the same amount of books on average for the past 5 years. It's not been a huge challenge. These are some of the comments that I've gotten in that video. I have replied to each and every comment there, and one thing which I was able to understand from these comments is that it's not that people want to be rude or bad with me. It's just that there's this inherent sense of disbelief that everyone has that you cannot read 100 books or so in a year. It's not possible to read more. I want to debunk that disbelief. It is highly possible for everyone who's watching this video to read more than 100 books per year. You definitely don't have to, okay? There's no need to read 100 books. There's no need to read even one book per year. But if you want to, if you are tall, are interested in reading more, this video is just for you. If you're not interested, completely understood. I'm not interested in doing a lot of stuff too, and I don't want anyone talking to me about why I should do them or how I can do them. Just saying this as a disclaimer in the beginning itself. If you are interested in reading more, if you generally want to read more, I'm 100% sure that you'll get so much out of this video. I'll try to keep the tips as quick as possible. So without any further ado, let's get into the video right away. My tip number one is basically the most important if you ask me, because just by doing this itself, you'll be reading more than any other person that you know of in the world. And it is to read regularly, okay? Set a time for reading for each and every day. Make it a habit, make it a routine, or make it a part of your routine. For example, I am not able to read the same amount of pages or for the same amount of time each and every day, but I make it a point that for at least 30 minutes each and every day, I read somehow, okay? Even if I read like 3 pages in the 30 minutes, it's something done for me. I'm not forcing myself to read it, but I'm making sure that I hold myself accountable for the fact that I need to read for 30 minutes per day. 30 minutes per day is not a long time. We can do it during multiple instances, which I'll be giving examples of in the further tips. So just make it a habit, make it regular. Try to read during the same time each and every day so that it's easier to do. Making it regular is the most easy tip that I can give. It's quite difficult to do, but once you start practicing it, trust me, you'll be reading more than even you have ever imagined before. Tip number 2, this is kind of my Brahmastra, okay? And it is to use your commute for reading. For example, I have a very long commute to and from work. I have to travel at least 1.5 to 2 hours to my office and back home. I take the train. So most of the times when I'm traveling, the trains are empty. I'm able to get a seat. I'll be able to sit down. So for those 1.5 hours when I'm traveling to office and traveling to home back in the evening, I've got nothing more to do. I can scroll through my phone, but after a point that also gets very boring and irritating. It also makes me jealous because I see other people enjoying stuff. So in order to cut me off all those burdens, I just sit down and read. Even if I'm not able to read for all 3 hours because I'm also human, I can't do that much of reading every single day. I try to slip in at least 1 or 2 hours of reading each and every day on my commute. In this 1 hour of reading on my commute itself, I get that 30 minutes of reading done. Every minute I do after those 30 minutes is a huge bonus for me. And I end up doing at least 2 hours of reading each and every day when I'm commuting to and from work. This is time during which I can do anything. Even if you're interested in learning something online, you can definitely do it during this time. I choose to do reading during this time because it is something which I love doing, and it's also a huge time killer. So if you have a long commute or if you just have a 30-minute commute from your home, make use of that for your reading. Trust me, it's a huge game changer. Tip number 3 is audiobooks. Okay, I love audiobooks. I've been listening to audiobooks for the past 6 to 7 years. I've loved them ever from the beginning and until now. I'm a person who cannot speed read. Okay, I cannot read very fast like some people do. I read at a very medium pace. I'll not be able to read fast because it makes me tired also. But listening on high speeds, I can do. Understanding on high speeds, I can do. So audiobooks are a godsend for me. My pro tip for using audiobooks is to listen to audiobooks while you're walking or doing some kind of exercise for the day. For example, I walk for at least 30 minutes or 1 hour each and every day, depending on the time that I get. And when I'm walking for that half an hour or 1 hour, I just listen to some audiobooks. On an average, an audiobook goes for like 8 to 12 hours, and I listen to audiobooks in 2 times speed because 1.5 or 1 is very slow for me and I just drift away. So with that, I'll be able to finish one audiobook in like 1 or 2 weeks very easily. Also, you can listen to audiobooks when you're doing some kind of passive work. For example, for me during my work time, if I'm working for 8 to 9 hours a day, at least for 1 or 2 hours, I have work which does not completely demand my brain's attention. For example, that may be just some kind of data entry or something which needs some kind of updates. It does not need the entirety of my brain's power there. So I just listen to some audiobooks there also. Half an hour or 1 hour here and there can add on, and at the end of the day, it will be very easy to have finished reading 1 to 2 hours every day very simply. Tip number 4 is super basic. Always carry a book with you, okay? Because we go to a lot of places, we do a lot of waiting, and most of the times we wait alone, okay? It's not like we have a group of friends or family members in the places where we are waiting. And most of these times what we do is we just sit down and pick up our phone. It's not going to help us in any way. It is going to just make us feel even more negative about ourselves, because social media is designed like that, right? It wants to make us feel bad about ourselves, which it ends up doing quite often. So try to give the chance to social media as much less as you can. You can read during when you're waiting for your train. You can read during when you're waiting for your bus. You can read during a break during work, a break during college, or when you just want to spend some time alone. So having a book with you wherever you go can help you a lot. It need not be a physical book. It can be a book on your phone. It can be an audio book again. It can be on your Kindle. It can be anywhere. Just carry a book with you in whatever format that you prefer. Again, even without your knowledge, you will have done a lot more reading just by doing this. Tip number 5 makes me feel like I'm a broken record. Okay, because I've been saying this one tip to like hundreds and hundreds of people who have asked me how to read more books. Trust me, I'm not exaggerating. Okay, I've said the same tip to hundreds of people over the past 5 to 6 years, and it is to read in different formats. Okay, we are living in the 2020s. Physical books are not the only option right now. Okay, I felt this pretty hard, especially during the pandemic time when I was not able to purchase physical books because everything was closed off. Books are not an essential, so you cannot get them during lockdown time and all. But digital formats of books are available 24/7. You can buy them anytime. They are available instantly. You need not wait. There are great discounts available everywhere. There are subscription platforms like Kindle Unlimited, Storytel, Audible, and so many other such things. So don't just stick to one format of books. Read from different formats. Make yourself used to it. If you're just stuck to physical books, trust me, it's going to be hard for you. But if you jump in between formats like physical books, ebooks, audiobooks, manga, comic books, magazines, newspapers, anything, okay, anything that you can read from is a different format of book or a different format of text or prose. As long as you're reading in some format, it's not going to feel boring for you. And as you keep changing the format for yourself, you'll not get tired of reading also. Tip number 6 is to read different genres. Okay, reading different genres is very important because it's very simple, like eating different kinds of food. Even if you like chapati and some gravy for a particular day, you cannot have it day in and day out, right? It's going to get boring. It's going to become something that you despise after a point. It's the same with books also. You cannot read the same genre of books over and over again and expect yourself to enjoy it each and every time, because we as human beings expect variety. We expect change. Even though we feel uncomfortable, at times we do need change in order to experience life at its fullest. It's the same when it comes to books also. If you're someone who's very much interested in non-fiction books alone, here and there, now and then, just slip in a fiction book there. It can be a short story collection. It can just be a small novella which goes for like 50 or 100 pages. Try to give yourself that variety. Try to give yourself that difference in terms of genre. That will definitely help you read more, and it will also not make you tired of a genre that you love reading. For example, I used to read only fiction books when I was in college, and after getting into work, I started experimenting with non-fiction books also and started loving them too. So basically, I have like a double catalog of books to read from right now, just because I started reading from different genres. If you can read in different languages, even better. Go forward and read books in different languages. Not everyone in the world can do that, okay? We as Indians can read in more than one language, especially if you're watching this video. I am assuming that you know at least one other language than English to read and write in. Make use of that language. Read something from that. It will provide you variety. It will keep your brain fresh from rot. It will not make you feel fogged up. And as a result, you will end up reading more. Tip number 7 is going to be something which everyone will feel very relatable to. And it is to read what you like. Don't just read what you should read. Us in our country, as Indian students, we are not at all taught to enjoy reading in any way. We are always compelled to read. Even during our English and language classes, we are compelled to read some kind of text which is definitely not within our league to be read during school times. And that itself becomes a huge turn off for people when it comes to reading itself. That's why people also don't want to pick up books, because we start hating reading even before we get the opportunity to find something that we like. If that's the only choice that you have, for example, if you're in school or college, if you have to read something, please do it, because it's just for your own good. We cannot escape from the system. But if you have other options, if you feel like you want to read something, just go forward and read it. Not any huge harm is going to come out of it for you. Okay, for example, if you just like reading comic books, read it. No one has any effing rights to say that you can't read that, you cannot read this, or you should read this. Read what you like. Don't just read what you should read. Read what you want to read, what it feels like compelling to you, which pulls you in. So yeah, that's a very basic tip. I know that many of us are just stripped of that privilege, stripped of that right ever since school itself. So that's one thing which we can do as an act of self-love to us. Read what you want, read what you like, not just what you should read. Tip number 8 is something what I call guilt-free DNFing. Here in the book internet, we have this short form called DNF, which basically means do not finish or did not finish. For example, I DNF multiple books each and every year because I just don't feel like reading them at that particular time. Just because you started reading a book does not mean that you need to finish reading it. Whether you read 2 pages of it or you read 200 pages of it, if you don't feel like continuing on with the story, if you feel like you don't like it, you don't want to continue on with it anymore, no one's going to question you, no one's going to blame you. Just drop that book for then, put it back in the shelf, put it back in your bag, put it back on the bookshelf in the library, go forward and read something that you like. There's no point forcing yourself to go through something that you don't even like doing. And the easiest way to not develop a habit of reading is forcing yourself to read something that you don't like. So yeah, be very guilt-free when it comes to DNFing. You can read some book to challenge yourself or to make your reading comprehension better, but you need not do that with each and every book. If you feel like it's not working for you, if it feels like it's not your vibe, DNF it. There's no guilt there. Guilt is a stupid emotion. It has no use. So don't feel guilty for DNFing books. I'm getting a bit too emotional. So basically just DNF books that you don't like. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with you. Leave that book, read something that you like. It's going to be all well. Tip number 9 is a saying that I made for myself, and I make use of this every so often for myself, and it is, a book is a book no matter how long or short it is. So basically means that if someone says that only if you read like 300, 400, 500 page books, you are actually reading, and if you are reading like 10 or 15 pages of a book, it's not reading. Okay, don't listen to them. They are stupid people. A book can be 1 page long, a book can be 1000 pages long, a book can be 10,000 pages long. As long as you like it, as long as you enjoy reading it, it's fine. You need not read big books alone. Okay, you can read just 100 1-page books. It still counts. 1 page or 100 pages does not matter. 1 page or 1000 pages does not matter. As long as it's one book, it's one book. Don't judge books by their length. It is completely stupid. There are so many classics in the world which just go on for like 1 or 200 pages, and the knowledge that they have is incomparably high compared to 1000-page tomes that are being published right now. So sizes of the books don't matter. So just remember, a book is a book no matter how short or long. Tip number 10 is again yet another very important one, and it is to not overdo it. Okay, I know that once we get swept into reading, it's difficult to just pull the brakes and detach ourselves from it. But what happens after a point is you will just start burning yourself out. It will feel like reading was a phase for you, and after that you will not want to read anymore, or there may be a slump which you will face, and during that time you'll feel like, I don't feel like reading anymore, I don't think reading is my thing anymore. If something like that arises, it's fine. It's just a temporary thing. You can let go of reading for some time, go back and do something that you like other than reading, like watching TV shows, or like going out with your friends, enjoying the day just for yourself. Don't do anything, just rest. Doing nothing is a huge self-care that not many people can afford. Do that for yourself. You need not always spend your time doing something productive. It's not necessary. And once you take that break, you may feel like you want to get back to reading. Do it if you feel like. Just keeping that in mind and giving yourself the time and space to breathe and just live can help you read a lot more than you can do in any other way. So yes guys, those are some of the reading tips that I had, and these are some of the ways by which I end up reading more than 100 books each and every year very easily without burning myself out, without tiring myself out, at the same time not getting bored of reading. I wanted to make this video way back in January or February itself, but I was very much jam-packed with work back then. That's why I wanted to make this at least now. All those comments which I showed before, they are just a representation of the disbelief that we have in our minds that reading that much is not possible, and if you read that much, it means that you're not retaining most of it. It's definitely not the case. You also need not remember everything that you read. No one can. We are not brain athletes here. You're just here to read, share the fun, share the love, and just spread the love for reading. Let's all do that together, and let's all do that more. That's the only intention behind this video. There's no hatred, there's no condescension in any way. I hope it was useful for you, and if you did find it helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And if you want to get more content from me, do subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.